Hi, Mr. Payne here with another helpful video. Today, we have a customer that has a broken four-wheel drive system, and we're going to find out how to fix it. The first step to any diagnosis is verify the concern. So we're going to start the truck. We're going to activate the four-wheel drive system. Right now we're in four-wheel high. Turn it off. Turn it back on to high. We're going to put it into four-wheel low. Hold the brake. Put it neutral. And we have four-wheel low. So it appears the four-wheel drive is working. But let's see if it's working at the wheels. As you can see, rear wheels are spinning, but the front wheels are not. So even though the truck thinks it's in four-wheel drive, we have no four-wheel drive working. The next step in the process is to do a visual inspection of the four-wheel drive system. As you can see, the wheels are spinning. We got rear drive shaft action. Front prop shaft spinning. And the axles are spinning. The axles are spinning. This tells us we probably have a hub problem. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to scan the vehicle and see if there's any diagnostic trouble codes related to the four-wheel drive system. I can retrieve all memory codes, but that's going to take a little while, so we'll look at the other options on here. Now I know from working with Fords that the GEM module does control the four-wheel drive, or it could be a powertrain related problem. So we are going to select retrieve all memory codes. This could take 2 minutes. Alright, so our scan tool pulled up a few codes. We've got rear speed sensor circuit fault, acceleration switch sensor fault, circuit fault, something about navigational module, which this vehicle doesn't even have one. But there's no codes related to the four-wheel drive in this. So it kind of like makes me question, did I miss something on my visual? If there were codes that were present, then what I would do is I would go into shop key. Say for example, I was pursuing this rear speed sensor fault. I would click fix it, or I just go into shop key and look up that code. But that's an ABS code. We're not really worried about it right now, so we're going to skip over that. So we're just going to assume that there's 0 four-wheel drive codes stored in this vehicle. So we're going to take another look at this four-wheel drive system, especially the hub area. Years ago, trucks used to have mechanical means of locking the hubs in and out. Most of the time there was a little switch, so to speak, with each wheel that you'd have to turn in, turn out anytime you wanted to operate the four-wheel drive. This Ford Ranger has a vacuum actuated system where if you flip the switch inside the vehicle, it uses a computer to activate a solenoid that lives down there and applies vacuum to the wheel. So we're going to do a little investigation here. We're going to take a look at all the vacuum lines on this truck. Now it appears that there's a vacuum line that is here, and it runs down here. See, it's red wiggling it, and it comes down into the frame rail, which is tough to videotape, but it splits off. It runs down to that device right down there, which is the solenoid switch which turns it off and on. I'm looking at the vacuum lines up here, and it looks like they're all intact. Here's another look from this angle. Still looks like it's in pretty good shape. So the vacuum lines, we're going to trace them down. What do we got here? This guy. There's our problem. So to give you an idea what this is supposed to attach to, there's supposed to be a metal tube right here that attaches into the top of the spindle right here. Taking a look at the other side of the truck, you can see that that one's still intact. This line right here. So to repair it, we can try to make a tube that fits down inside that hole on the other side and try to reattach things. But ultimately, I think we're going to end up replacing the whole spindle piece altogether. So we're going to go ahead and pop this wheel and tire off just to have a better look. So this piece right here, this is the vacuum hub. This is actually a vent. You'll make sure this stays clean. We're going to take a little look inside here. And we're going to see this is what's left of the vacuum tube. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. The tube's still here. So we might just be able to fix the vacuum hose, the rubber piece, and it might be a done deal. So hang tight, let's take a look. We're going to clean up the fitting where the vacuum line goes, and we're going to try to put a new piece of line on there and see what happens. Even though the whole piece is not here, there still might be enough sticking out where we can actually get it to seal. But it's got to be rust free so that the seal could work. Now we're going to start running our new vacuum line. This convoluted tube came off the old piece. The new piece is coming off the roll of stock. This might be a problem. That looks like an 8mm bolt. It's important to put the bracketry back on because it's the bracketry that holds the line from rubbing the tire. I kind of get an estimate of how long we need this to be. Let's make a little cut here so we're not dangling this big heavy spool. And we're going to get our little tube and we're going to put it in our little holder here. We're also going to put this back. But we're not going to bolt it up yet because we want to run the tube where we need it in case we have to trim some. But first I want to make sure this hole's open. It looks like it might be pinched a little bit, so I'm going to go get a pick tool. And through the magic of television, I cleaned up the piece, put a little bit of lubricant on there so that the hose slides better, and I've installed the new hose on the spout. Now I gotta do the bolt and bracket. Since this vehicle is a 1999, these are probably the original hoses, I'm going to go ahead and repeat this repair on the other side of the vehicle, but just not on camera. And when I'm done, we're going to try to operate the four-wheel drive and see if we made the repair. We're going to go ahead and reinstall the tire and wheel assemblies. Using our torque stick. The very last step to any repair is to verify that you repaired the vehicle. Congratulations, we now have four-wheel drive. Our last step, we're going to put the vehicle back down onto its wheels, torque those lug nuts, put on the hubcaps, and take it for a ride.